Hello and welcome to the Bacon Bites. My name's Seth Bacon, and today we're going to review from an end user's perspective what is out of the box when it comes to the sales process with Dynamics 365. So let's go ahead and get started. When you first log into Dynamics 365, the first thing you land on is your default pane. We've reviewed in episode 2 how to change your default pane, so go check out that episode if you want to see how to change that from maybe a dashboard to a list of accounts or your field service dashboard. And so you can do that and review that in episode 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and jump in and click on that navigation bar. What you see here is under sales, we got a couple of different options, specifically under customers and sales. So when it comes to Dynamics 365, there's a couple of different entities, tables, if you will, that we want to review. So we have accounts, which represent organizations, different departments maybe that we work with and interact with. Accounts can either be prospects or they can be typically customers, people that we've qualified and are actually doing business with, or people that we've qualified and know that there's potential business we can do it with. Contacts are individuals that we can interact with, and they're typically associated to an account. So when I talk to Seth at RSM, when we talk to RSM, it's really not RSM that we're talking to because it's an organization. Even though it's a legal entity, it's an organization. But we have contacts. So Seth is a contact related to that organization. So that's how accounts and contacts interact with each other. Then we have the concept of leads and opportunities. You see that in the next pane, as well as competitors. Competitors are fairly obvious. Those are the people that we're competing against when it comes to an opportunity. Each industry is going to have its own competitors. Some people may not record their competitors, but typically what happens is you associate competitors with opportunities or with leads. So who am I competing against for this opportunity for this product that we're doing the sales? You also have leads and opportunities. We'll just cover those briefly. Lead is a prospect. It's somebody that's unqualified. It's that concept of a business card was dropped into a fishbowl, and now we're going to go through that. Or maybe it's a mailing list that we purchased. And so that's the concept of leads. Are unqualified. We need to do some research on them before we can actually work them. And then you have the concept of opportunities. Opportunities is that concept of being able to come in, be able to track the different products that we're going to sell them, what is the interaction that we've had with them, what appointments, what meetings have we had with them, who have we called, the phone calls, and being able to track all that against an opportunity to pursue. So let's go ahead and jump into leads. And what we'll do is we'll look through, and we're going to come back later, but what we're first laying on when we click on this is a list of leads. And so this is what's called a view in Dynamics 365. So here on this view, I can see different information. I can see the name, the topic of the lead, the status. It looks like these are all new, and these are all created today, which is great. And so again, this is all sample data, which is fine. If you wanted to, you can change the view to see all leads, closed leads, leads I follow, my connections, ones I've connected to, or just open leads in general. So that's this view. So we can change the view itself. We can also set this pen, and that'll set this as my default view because that's the view I want to come back to each time. So let's go ahead and jump into Deborah. Great. Now that we have Deborah's record pulled up, we can see a number of things about her. Up top here, we have what's called the header. And so we can quickly see the lead source, the rating, the status, as well as who the owner is. Next in line, we have the business process flow. This is going to show us where in the process of the sales cycle is Deborah, or is this lead in this record. And it'll make sure that we follow a consistent process throughout our leads and opportunities. This business process flow can be updated, and we're going to get into that in a later date with the system administrator episode. So be on the lookout for that one. Down below here, we have information with regards to the contact information about Deborah. How do we get a hold of her? As well as the social pane. So being able to see posts, activities, interactions that we've had with her, as well as notes. We can see stakeholders, competitors for this lead, and other information. So we won't go through each of these fields. Next thing what we're going to do is we can go up here to the command bar and either qualify her or disqualify her. If we disqualify her, we can say why we disqualified her. That really helps us understand what about our sales process can we improve. So if we keep losing it because we can't get a hold of somebody, maybe we need to work on how we're gathering their information. So in this case, let's go ahead and qualify this lead. What that's going to do as we're qualifying this is it's going to go ahead and create an account, a contact, and an opportunity for us in the back end, because this is the first time that this lead's come through. If this is not the first time this lead's come through, we can associate this lead with an existing contact or an existing account. And that will go ahead and just associate this lead and this new opportunity that's being created with the existing contact and account. Now that the lead's qualified and we've clicked that qualified, you'll notice that we've automatically gone to the opportunity form. This form renders specific information about the opportunity itself. You'll notice here that we've gone from the qualify to the develop stage, and I can go through here and develop the lead as appropriate. You'll notice here that there's no check marks, but as I fill in things, I've identified the stakeholders, I've identified competitors, I can go ahead and click next. And so this will, again, guide me through that process. And so we can go through the next stage and go to propose and then finally to close. Down below here, again, we'll see information specifically about the opportunity itself. So we see the summary. And so now we see the contact for this opportunity specifically is the contact record of Deborah. We also have the account that Deborah was associated to, and that was on the lead record, the Wide World Importers. And now if we scroll down, again, we can see the product line item. So we can associate it to a price list specifically that's in our system. This, again, can be price list based on this different size. Who are we selling to? Is it a not-for-profit? Is it a government agency? Is it a private agency? Is it a specific industry? And there's a number of different reasons that you have different price lists. Okay, now that we have a price list associated to this opportunity, what we can do is associate products to it. So let's go ahead and click the plus sign, click existing product, because we're going to use something out of the product catalog. Here a lookup pops up, so I can now choose a list of them associated with this price list. And now that a product's popped up, we can choose properties. And we'll go into later how to set and configure these properties. So what's the maximum number of users? 100. The organization name is RSM. And then any other properties that we've set as part of this product, we can go ahead and set there. We can go ahead and click done. What that's going to do is save those properties that we're associating it back to that record. One of the things you'll notice that the price per unit is changed as well because of the volume of users. So different things that we're going to get into a later time and we'll talk through, but just wanted to show you here what that looks like. So now that we've associated a product, we can see some of the different information. And then let's go ahead and associate a quote. So clicking the plus sign on the quote, what it's going to do is go ahead and create a new quote for us. And what we see here is the quote coming in. A lot of times different opportunities can have multiple quotes associated to them because we've changed pricing. And so what we need to do is after we've gone ahead and configured the quote, included any discounts, any details with regards to the quote, what we need to do is activate that quote. And now that quote's going to be active and associated with the opportunity. Now that the quote is active, we can't change it. We can't revise it. If we do revise it, what it's going to do is create a new revision. So this would be quote 1, and the next one's going to be quote 1-1, and so on. So that allows us again to see the history of quotes. What have we quoted them? What's the historical quotes around that? So now that we have an active quote, we can't update it, we can't edit it, but what we can do is we can create an order from it. And what that is going to do is going to create an order in the CRM system, which can then be pushed over to an ERP system. And this order is going to allow us to do a couple of things here on the screen. So we can have the status reason as 1. So this quote is now going into an order. So we've won the opportunity. Woohoo! We can do the date that it was won. We can do the description. We can also say whether the opportunity needs to be closed or not. And we can actually have that do it here. And we can have it calculate the actual revenue from the quote itself. Because again, when we were on the opportunity, we had estimated revenue. We anticipated being X number of dollars. But now that we actually have a quote that's turning into an order, we can go ahead and update the actual revenue on that opportunity. So we have great reporting around that. So now here we have the order. And so again, small details order, you can see that here, you can see it here that we're on the order. You also notice that the command bar has changed a little as well. And there's a number of different items that we can do on this. We can fill the order, we can cancel the order, we can turn the order into an invoice. And again, typically you would have this order go to your ERP system, and your ERP, your accounting system, would then convert that order into being fulfilled because you're doing it either in your manufacturing and they're fulfilling the order, or there's something that you're providing and then that's going to create the actual invoice. So hopefully you found this helpful. This was just, again, a quick overview of the lead to order process when it comes to a lead turning into an opportunity, also creating that account and contact if we haven't already done that. And then from that opportunity, being able to associate the different products, and that opportunity then generating some quotes off of it, and one of those quotes turning into an actual order. And then that order, again, we mentioned this before, going into an ERP or an accounting system that then actually fulfills the order and then invoices it. And then hopefully we have that invoice be pushed back into CRM, so that way you can, again, see that 360-degree view of an account and a contact. We hope you found this video helpful. Again, if you liked it, please hit the thumbs up so we know you enjoyed it. Also hit the subscribe so that way you're notified next time we release a video. If there's anything that we can improve, please leave a comment down below, or if you want to connect with us, please connect with us on Twitter at The Bacon Bites or at our website at thebaconbites.com. Until next time, have a great one.